Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so potential buyers have more information about the seller and the business to help them make a buying decision. Before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of the business. It's for an Amazon FBA and FBM business created in October of 2020 in the apparel and accessories niches. The average monthly revenue for the business is $50,942 and makes an average of $14,566 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are an Amazon Seller Central account with 23 SKUs, Shopify store, supplier contracts and relationships, trademarks, and just as a disclaimer, inventory isn't usually included in the list price, but further details can be provided to unlockers who schedule a call with the seller. So for everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 59112 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So that's a brief overview of the business for sale. Let's hear from the sellers with me today. Welcome to the show, Alan and Mandy. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, Nick. Glad to be here.
Awesome. I'm doing great as well. And I'm looking forward to learning more about you and your business. So to start us off with the first question, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
So we've had an e-commerce building business for the last 6 years and have been very successful in running that business, which kind of led us to creating an Amazon business.
Nice. Yeah, I see the business was created in 2020, so it seems like it's a pretty new business, but you've been operating for a little bit longer than that. Nice.
Yeah, with a different e-commerce business.
Got it. Okay. And did you want to talk a little bit about why you chose this niche when you started this business?
Well, Mandy, with her e-commerce business that she was talking about, she started about 6 years ago. She buys wholesale products. So this was one of the products she bought wholesale and then just saw an opportunity to enhance the design and just wondered, is this something we could manufacture and produce and brand ourselves? And so we started to explore that option. We'd never produced our own products. And so there are obviously lots of barriers to entry for that. But finding a product she was excited about, we started to pursue what it would look like to brand and produce our own product. And so we just went on the journey from there.
Nice. And the thing I like about that too is that you were able to see, of course, how to improve upon the product, but you could also see what demand was like for that product before getting into it. So kind of like custom market research without requiring your own product to do that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So it's been a couple of years now. Why are you deciding to sell the business instead of keeping it and growing it?
Well, it's always been Mandy's dream to open up a brick and mortar storefront. And so we are really shifting priority from growing this business through e-commerce and Amazon FBA and FBM to really just focus on her dream of having a local business and a bricks and mortar.
Yeah, that's very cool. Especially now, I know there's all this talk about brick and mortar kind of being the dinosaurs of the retail space. Everything's shifting to online. So it is kind of, maybe I'd say refreshing to see that it's kind of here to stay. Some of the positives about maybe the in-person and the brick and mortars they still have their value. They still have their place here.
Absolutely.
Well, one thing I'll add is Mandy loves the relationship with her customers.
Yeah.
And so you can never compete with the audience that Amazon can create. I think Mandy really misses
the face-to-face with the customers.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is one of the difficulties that you experience with, especially something like Amazon. As you said, Alan, the audience is there, definitely, but it's so difficult to I mean, face to face is difficult, but it's even difficult to, for example, have like email conversations, like email campaigns, just to have a relationship really with the customers. So yeah, I completely get that. Awesome. Well, you certainly have been successful with this business in a very short period of time. What did you learn from building this business just seemed to work that contributed to that success?
So early on, we had a partner agency that really guided us through the process. And so they handle the creation of our listings and really the PPC, all the advertising campaigns. And, it was their partnership really that helped us launch and grow so quickly. And I've learned in other parts of our businesses that I'm not meant to be, and Mandy's not meant to be an expert in every single piece of the business. And so being able to lean on experts and not having to, there's a steep learning curve when it comes to Amazon advertising and just the Amazon system. So we relied heavily on our partner to help us launch and grow quickly. And that was, I think, the smartest thing that we did.
Yeah, that's awesome. So did you decide to work with them just from the beginning? Or was there, did you do the product research and get to a certain point and realize, okay, we need to now bring in a partner to help us with fill these other gaps?
So a friend of ours actually introduced us to the owner of this company that we used from the very beginning, our conversations about starting an Amazon business. So he really held our hand from the very beginning and helped us tremendously just to even get our foot in the door on Amazon and figure all of that out. So he's been with us since the beginning of our business.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I think the default assumption is that you need to kind of roll up your sleeves and learn how to do every single part of the business, from researching the product to learning how to create those listings and becoming a PPC specialist, at least to be able to delegate. So I really like that strategy, or just that approach towards building this business. So it sounds like you had some pretty, specialized help here from the beginning. Was there anything though that you tried with this business that didn't work out so well?
Yeah, I think our biggest issue has been inventory management. I mean, I know that's one of the biggest issues for this business, especially launching, and not the learning curve of suppliers and their lead time and the amount of inventory you need. And I'll take ownership of that. Didn't really anticipate. We grew quickly, as you can see in the numbers,
Yep.
and much quicker than we'd imagined. And even as we started ordering more, it was just never enough to keep up with the demand, which is a great problem to have, but not when you stock out on Amazon, right?
Sure.
So that was a challenge, and that was a mistake of not realizing the potential early on, or the demand, and reading, looking into the data more and really understanding how much demand was there. But then you have a cash flow issue, right? It's Mandy and I's, first, we put a lot into it personally. So
sure,
you try to balance how much risk and how much cash you're going to inject into the business. And so early on, we didn't anticipate that.
Yeah, I mean, especially over the last 2 years, it's been a lot of risk reward. Given that this is such a new business, you don't have anything to forecast demand off of it when you're just launching, and then compound that with reduced ability to store inventory or supply chain issues
that hit in the middle of that. Yeah. And increase the lead time by like 30 to 60 days, Yeah.
Yep. That is the life of an Amazon seller, and just probably an e-commerce seller in general, at least for over the past 2 years, definitely.
Right.
Got it. Okay. It's been 2 years, but can you describe now the amount and the type of work that you do for maintenance on this business?
Mostly it's just check-ins with that agency, the consulting company we've been using. We do weekly check-ins with them and just talk through PPC campaigns, what they're seeing, and make some decisions. Most of the listings now are all up. And so honestly, for me, it's mostly refreshing my Seller Central app and looking at sales every day. But
nice.
Outside of that, it's very minimal work, unless we're putting in orders again and trying to figure out and map out how much to order from the supplier. But it's very minimal at this point.
Got it. I'm sorry, I might have missed this. Do you do customer support, or does the company also handle that?
We do customer support.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds like mostly inventory management when you are ordering inventory, and then some customer support.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about opportunities and risks then. If you were to keep the business, what are some ways that you would try to grow it?
We're constantly seeking feedback from customers, and that is one of the things that Mandy has the benefit of is the access to a local customer base. So, we're taking feedback from them on some ways to enhance the product, which we have already launched. Right now, an enhanced product is already being manufactured. So that piece is something, and that shipment honestly should be here May. So that's something we saw as an opportunity and seized upon it now. And then, whoever purchases this company would honestly be able to benefit from that. We see opportunity. I mean, everything has been on Amazon, FBA, and FBM. So there is opportunity to grow that through our Shopify. We've seen promising results, though limited, from using influencers and social media, tapping into that growth opportunity, and then really enhancing the brand by expanding the products and growing some of the products that we currently have, but also just expanding into new products.
Sure. Well, that's exciting to see a new and improved product coming up in May. So definitely adds some time incentive potentially for a buyer to purchase before that happens and before the valuation increases further potentially. Okay. So of course, with opportunity comes risk. So what do you think are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
Kind of what I just alluded to, which is it's 99% Amazon FBA, FBM. So that was another learning curve for us is Amazon is a blessing and a curse sometimes, right? I mean, you can't compete with the audience that they bring to you, but it's all on Amazon. So the risk is, without diversification of channels, at any point, Amazon can be Amazon and do things which you as a business owner and as a seller might disagree with. So you're kind of held to their standards and their system.
Yep. And anybody listening to this who is already an Amazon seller is well aware of that, likely, or they will be, just how strict Amazon's terms of service can be.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, a few housekeeping questions to wrap this up. How much support are you willing to offer a new buyer?
Well, I think we have in the listing a default support. We're willing to obviously stick to that. But at the end of the day, we want whoever purchases this business to be successful. So we're flexible in what the buyer needs to be successful.
Okay, perfect. And would you commit to a non-compete?
Yes, of course.
All right, excellent. And are you open to something like an earnout?
Our preference would be an all upfront cash offer. I mean, that's what we're looking for. However, again, we are flexible in negotiating depending upon the terms. An earnout could make sense, again, with the right terms.
Okay, excellent. And putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
Number one reason is growth. I mean, from the start, we wanted to sell this business at peak growth. And you can see in the numbers that the business has grown exponentially over the last year. And that was our plan, is to sell it when it's still growing significantly. And so we think there's a lot of meat left on the bone. And so, a buyer has a great opportunity to continue to ride that growth and enhance it and put their own expertise and spin on the business. But we think it's a great opportunity for continued growth. That's the number one reason. And then things I already mentioned, we've already set this up with some enhanced product design and some things that we think will take the brand to the next level and provide even more, opportunity for customers to enjoy the product. So yeah, those are the biggest reasons. And I'll say the other thing, our gross profit margins are exceptionally high. So there's a lot of room to play and for a buyer to also customize some things on their own. There's just enough gross profit margin in there to be flexible with the brand.
Nice. Yeah, that combination is particularly powerful. Well, first of all, it's very common for a buyer to want to see a positive growth trajectory, especially one that's exponential, as you mentioned. And that combined with a strong profit margin, it's a very strong position to be in. So I think that for the right buyer, that sounds like a very attractive purchase. Okay. Well, last question. Is there anything you'd like to add that you think I might have missed during the interview?
I can't think of anything.
No, I think we kind of laid out through your questions kind of what we feel is great about the product, the opportunities, and, as you mentioned, some of the risk of Amazon. So I think that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I think those were some great answers. So I think that's the perfect place to wrap this up. So Alan, Mandy, thank you so much for sharing your story and joining us on today's episode. And yeah, I hope your business is purchased in the near future and by the perfect buyer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 59112. And if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.